Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. On this channel, I'm going to be talking about all things real estate. I'm going to be addressing topics for landlords, sellers, buyers, all as it relates to what's going on in the Metro Atlanta, Georgia marketplace. So tune in for the latest updates and things going on in the Metro Atlanta market. We aim to make this channel very exciting and informative all at the same time. So today I want to talk to my landlords out there. I see a lot of complaints about using property management companies on chat sites like Reddit, for instance. And I just want to bring out, because I've been doing leasing and property management all of my adult life, and I can tell you right now that a good property management company can save you tons of money, but also it can alleviate a lot of unnecessary stress and headaches for those of you that own portfolios. Okay, one of the biggest complaints I saw in these, I guess these are blog sites, is where owners are saying, well, they don't want to pay a management company when a contractor gets hired and that manager has to go out and now, oversee a project. Now, I can understand not charging for something simple like, hey, if it's a toilet leak, I'm not having to oversee that. It's not taking me, hours of my time to actually go and make sure that, or get confirmation that that's done. The toilet's fixed, the toilet's been replaced. I have pictures or what have you. Where the issue comes in is people got to understand, yes, you're paying a monthly management fee, but those fees a lot of times are very small. So for a manager to actually do that's an additional service. That is actually considered project management at times, where we're actually having to oversee major repairs, where we've got things that need to be updated possibly in a property, or we're replacing some major things. Like I've had clients, for instance, update a bathroom or update a kitchen and wanted me to oversee that. That's not property management. That is actually project management. And so, yes, it would make sense then to charge additional fees for that oversight, because it's taking time. Now we've got to go and make sure everything's being done properly, up to code, so that we don't have to turn around and get maintenance out there to fix, or another contractor out to fix what wasn't done correctly. So, one thing that it seems like now people are against, media seems to be pretty negative on capitalism and businesses, and it's really right now a crunch on small business owners in particular, because we have these big companies coming in and just taking over on a massive scale. Now, I know in the major metro areas, you have big companies coming in and they are buying up the single family properties and they are managing them as well. And so it leaves the little companies in a really tight position, because a lot of times people just go with the big names. And just because a company has a big name doesn't mean they're better. I see so many complaints online about these big companies having mold issues in their properties. They don't have the oversight that, say, like, for instance, my management company, we actually go out during the tenant's lease and inspect that property to make sure that the air filters get changed. We also make sure that the gutters are being cleaned. We also make sure that the tenant is taking care of that property. And so these are things that a lot of times these big companies don't do. And I can tell you, I've leased from some big companies, for years, and did not have one person come out to check. When I rented from a smaller company, they came out and checked the property. So that's another thing. Like, you want to make sure that that tenant is taking care of the property. It's more to owning property than just collecting the money from it. You know, if you take care of your investment, it will take care of you. So it's important too, as an owner, that you make sure that your property is being taken care of. Don't let it, or the tenant, run it in the ground. Like, don't do that. I had a call a couple months back where this gentleman, he owned a property. It was in Columbus, Georgia. And people were living there for, I think he said, 10 or 12 years, you all. And he had not gone by the property one time in all that time. He had a manager managing the property, but the manager wasn't checking on the property either. And so, of course, when he finally decided to check on the property, you know, he couldn't get inside. The tenants had changed the locks, and it was like looking a mess on the outside, and who knows what the inside looked like, because they wouldn't let him in. So, you know, I asked the gentleman, like, do you live out of state? You know, he's like, no, I'm only within 1 mile. But like, okay, and you never thought to do just even a drive-by? A knocking on the door? I mean, you're supposed to have a copy of the key anyway as a landlord in case you need to access the property for emergencies, you know. But you can't just, and I've seen this a lot, like, you can't just set it and forget it. This is your investment. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. You know, what good is it to go and collect these rent checks and you've got some major issue going on inside that you're not checking on? It could have been avoided, you know, if you had found the problem sooner. Now you're looking at it, 12 years later, and it's a massive issue that may cost you tens of thousands of dollars to fix. Not only that, you got to work around these tenants. You know, let's just say they're not taking care of the property, and now you need to put them out because of their neglect. You know, but anyhow, long story short, that particular owner was upset with the property manager, and rightfully so, because that property manager should have been checking on the property as well. But I let the owner know, listen, any judge you take this matter before is going to ask, how is it that you own a property that long and you literally sat there and didn't even think to check on it? Like, we have to, you know, if you're going to get into this business, it's very important that you, even when you hire a management company, inspect what you're expecting from them. Hold their feet to the fire on the contract. Ask key questions. And so, anyhow, on this video, I really wanted to get into the tenant screening process, like how to avoid or minimize your risk if you're deciding not to deal with a management company. You know, how can you find that quality renter. Now, one thing I can tell you, like my company, we offer leasing only services, and you can find companies that will do that for you, where they're just screening the tenant. Okay. Now, I can tell you, when people were dealing with the moratorium on evictions during the COVID period, our company, we did not have an issue at all. It was so many people, so many other landlords had issues where their tenants just weren't paying. I mean, I literally had a property for lease at the time, and I made one of the prospects who came to see it so comfortable that she just let me know, hey, I hadn't been paying where I currently live. So like, okay. And she said, and it's not because I don't want to, or I'm not able to, I just don't have to. So that right there told me everything I needed to know, basically. And so that's the thing, like, you want to do a thorough screening process up front. That will help you avoid a whole lot of headaches later. So one of the things that I like to do is actually go, if the person is local, I like to go and look at how they are taking care of their current property. We also get in touch with their landlord. We verify that this person's contact information that's listed as the landlord, if it's a single family property owner, it's not a business, they put down just a personal name as the landlord, we'll go and verify, okay, is this person actually the owner? We'll ask the tenant that, and if they say yes, we will verify that through our tax records. Okay, and then we'll reach out to that person to actually get the written rental history as well. Another way to verify the rental history, we had a situation where this particular applicant, her landlord, she was renting apartments, but they did not, their policy was not to do rental verifications, which is crazy. Even though the tenant gave them permission to verify, their policy was they weren't going to. We had the leasing agent actually tell us that. And so with that, we took the tenant's ledger, and they provided us with their ledger from the apartment complex, where we could see when and how much their rent payments were. And then we compared it to their bank statements to make sure that those payments matched up with the withdrawals from their bank account, to make sure they was telling us the truth. Like, I've seen people actually make up bank statements, you all. I've literally seen that. And where they got caught, because it looked really good, but they misspelled some things. So people are definitely getting more and more creative out here, landlords. So it's important that if you don't have the tools and the experience with tenant screening, that you go ahead and pay the upfront cost to get someone to screen that property, that tenant for your property, because you may save a few crumbs up front, but in the end, it could really bite you. And I mean, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Dealing with right now, it's a backlog of evictions going on in several metro Atlanta counties. It could take 3 months or longer just to get a court date. Okay, and you can't sit somebody out without going through this process, if they've signed your lease. Now, squatters, that's different, but you want to make sure that if you're not going to use a property management company, that you at least get that screening done properly. It will save you so many headaches in the end. So that is my tip for today. Join me, like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be going more in depth on things. And then I want you to leave comments, leave your questions so that I can answer those questions as well. All right. And so join me next time. You'll be notified if you go ahead and like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted every time I upload a new video. All right, you all. Hang in there. I wish you the best.